So, what did you go to juvenile hall for, and how did you feel when you walked in? You know, like how did you feel inside? Like, what did it look like? You know, like everything, like the whole little experience.
My first time I went to like a juvenile hall, like did a little juvenile hall program, was probably like 15, I think. I think 14 or 15 around there. I beat some dude with a bat, and then I got busted for it, and then from there the first juvenile hall I went to was Los Padrinos, and you know me, because I went to all of them. I went to East Lake, and then I went to Sylmar, and, you know what I mean? I did a little journey, but the first little like LP journey I went through, like, I think I went through, you know what I mean? And I seen just the whole environment. All right, I'm finally here, you know, I'm locked up, and, you know, and you know what I mean? I think like the experience of that is kind of like, by that time you're already trying to prove something, you know? So it's like, hit everybody up, where's everybody from, run to, you know what I mean, the other side, and then run into each other's rooms and fight, you know what I mean? And just do the typical stuff, you know? I remember like one time this dude tried to hit me with like a pencil, you know what I mean? So I caught it, and I remember I grabbed the pencil from my hand. I still got the spinner right there, the little pencil there.
Yeah, I could see it.
You know what I mean? I took it out and I just put it in his cheek and smashed it on his face, and bah, snapped it. And then that's what led to my ultimate, like, you know what I mean? My little like defense mode, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and did that little incident give you more time? Did you have to go to court? Like, what did they tell? Like, what was that? What happened?
Nah, nothing. I just remember like, cause the staff wasn't right there, so I kind of got him at a good time, and then, you know what I mean. After that, it was just, you know what I mean. It was like defense, like you have to, you know.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not so much like,
I
all right, I'm
understand.
trying to do, cause I was shy, you know. I was shy. I was timid. I was kind of like, I was to myself, you know what I mean. I really wasn't really out there like that, unless I felt like the energy. Once I felt the energy, then it was like, all right, you know.
Yeah, I'm only coming out to fight.
That's what it was, like, you know what I mean? Cause I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you got out, and what did you do? Did you go back home?
After that, I went back home for a little bit, but then I went back to the streets. I caught another case, and then.
And what was the second case? Did you go to juvenile hall or?
Yeah, I went to juvenile hall, then I went to camp. I went to East Lake, and from East Lake, I went to Sylmar. From Sylmar, I went to Camp Rocky. I went to San Dimas, Glen Rocky, and then I experienced a little bit that was like.
Tell us
you know what I mean?
about camp.
Camp's crazy. It's kind of like American Me, you know, and everybody's like, oh, you know what I mean? And the shit like ghetto, you're like, oh, damn, this shit happens in real life. Like, oh, all right.
Well, I don't know what that means. Like, I never been to camp with boys, so
yeah.
Like, I mean, I watched American Me, but for the people that never have, like, explain a little bit more.
It's just like, you know what I mean? Just a bunch of kids, you run amok, and you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Some people try to take it too far, so you gotta just, you know what I mean? You adapt to your environment. Now all of a sudden you gotta be on defense mode, you know?
24/7.
Yeah, like, I remember.
So it's literally just fighting all day.
It's just fight, you know what I mean? That's all it is. It's kind of like training, and then after that, like, it teaches you to get ready for the county, move the bunks, and then you get ready for prison and all the extras, you know?
So you definitely got ready because you did time, right? What was the craziest thing you saw in juvenile hall?
I mean, juvenile hall, like, everybody runs in each other's rooms and fights, you know what I mean? But I think, like, when I got to camp, like, camp was like, you know what I mean? It was like you pull up, and, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, you know what I mean? You got fools like trying to do the most and take advantage of, you know what I mean? Like the little bit of maybe not so, you know what I mean? So defensive kids, and I think like that was probably one of the, like, when I first pulled up, everybody banged on me. I'm like, what's up, fool? I'm for with the 13, you know what I mean? And bam, bam, make sure everybody knows first, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
this is my space right here, you know what I mean? So let them know that much, and then you know what I mean? Then comes the testing, like everybody's trying to test, and you know what I mean? And I think it was like this one time, this dude, you know what I mean? He dropped this moco rag, you know what I mean? Try to see like how I'm gonna respond to it, but it had blood. And so he dropped it like on my bed, and I was like, what? I was like, hell no. I was like, hey, G, like, here, you know what I mean? Like, I grabbed it from the non-blood side, and I threw it back. I was like, hey, G, watch out. You know what I mean? Oh, Spencer over there. You know what I mean? Boom, he drops it again. I'm like, hey, G, you know what I mean? I told you, like, here, you know what I mean? And when he did it the third time, because me, I'm like, strike 1, 2, 3, you know what I mean? My
yeah,
head.
you're trying to be calm, and, you know, you're being cool.
Yeah, so like probably like the third time I just grabbed it right, I didn't even care if it had blood or whatever, and I just smashed it in his face, dah, you know what I mean? I yanked him off the bunk, so kind of getting it, you know what I mean? And you know, punching on his forehead, and everybody's, you know what I mean? That's when, you know what I mean? I see all the other kids are like, yeah, get him, you know? And I'm like, get him, you know what I mean?
Why? Because everybody didn't like him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because he was doing the most, I guess. You know, he did have some big ass, like some big old hands, you know? He had like some little hammers, you know what I mean? So
When you say doing the most, what do you mean by doing the most?
like doing the most, you know what I mean? Like just
Like you said take advantage of the kids. Like, do you mean like take advantage of like their manhood?
I mean, I don't want to say all that, you know, but like
But yeah.
taking advantage of, you know what I mean? They just like, you know what I mean, like ruining these little kids, you know, and so, and that's when I learned like oh, this survival, you know, like
He means taking advantage of their manhood, guys.
I don't know about that part, but you know what I mean. But it's kind of just
Yeah.
it's crazy, like and those sides, like I look at Instagram now. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, if you been, you know what I mean? This and that. And they got these little polls and get compensation, you know what I mean? So little by little, people's coming out with it.
Yeah.
You know, but back then it was just like,
Well, you know, because
like you gotta survive,
it's okay,
you know what I
like,
mean? So
it's
just
okay to talk about it because those young boys that, you know, are probably traumatized and not even able to like have normal lives because they're not okay within themselves because of those situations. So sometimes, you know, as hard as it is not to talk about it, like, you don't feel comfortable, and that's okay. It's it has to be okay because those, I mean, they're men now. Who knows what they're doing?
I look at it like this, like, yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? But I strongly feel like in my heart, like, you know what I mean? Like I believe in God, I pray. I'm a crybaby to God. I cry to him about everything, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For every defense mechanism, I'm like, bless these hands, bless the, you know what I mean, instruments. So, you know what I mean? And however I got to go into war, like King David, like, you know what I mean? Some people is like, oh, you can't do that. I'm like, I do it. My middle name is David. I'm
doing
you know
it.
what I mean? I come with weaponry, like, you
That's
know what
right.
I mean?
No,
So,
for sure.
So I'm like that dude, you know, and you know what I mean? I will defend myself, and you know what I mean? And I feel like that, like, now, you know, now they're coming out with it, but back then it was, you know what I mean? It was like you have to do what you have to do, you know?
Yeah. So you were out of camp, and how long after did you catch another case after you got out?